Hello YouTube, my name is Fuzzball and welcome to the first episode of my Dark Souls playthrough. My main audience for this is probably going to be the people of our Dark Souls, so if you've come from there then welcome, and if not then I hope you enjoy it anyway. For this run I'm probably going to be doing a bit of... I'm going to try and probably do a Faith run. I've never actually done a Faith run before. I'm not an expert at this game, but I have played through it before. So there's that, and I'll probably try to aim around having the videos about half an hour long each. You know, not too long, not too short, that kind of thing. So I am playing on PC, in case you haven't already noticed, by the DS-Fix enabled symbol. So there's that, and let's get into it. So we'll go for a new game. Pretty cool, that character. There we go. That way, I know I've spelled that wrong, it seems more namey if I call it like that. That way it will remind me that this is the YouTube save, to not go on it when I'm doing other things. So, we go for the Cleric first, since we're going for Faith. Master Key, that's, you know, pretty obvious. I'll probably go Slim, just because I like the character model to be quite small, so it's not too intrusive. Face doesn't really matter, I usually go for the semi-long, but I might try something different. Maybe go for short. Yeah, let's go for short. Colour, well, my favourite colour is purple, so I'm going to totally go for that. As far as customizing goes, I don't actually think it really matters. Barely makes a difference, so... I'm just going to leave this, that's not actually important to me. Now, obviously you have the cutscene at the beginning of the game, so what I'm going to do for that is... I'll let it play through, but I'm going to leave an annotation, like, as it starts, so you can skip to it later on. That's if I remember to do that. If I forget to do that, I'm sure you can just skip it yourself if you don't want to watch it, but hopefully I'll remember. So yeah, let's make sure that's okay. Yeah, let's get going. Okay.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death. And of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless lights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign.
Okay, well, there's that. I'm sure you've all seen that before if you've played it before, but if not, there it was.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead.
I always forget about this bit.
And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Well, now we can get on with stuff if the nice lady doesn't have any more like things to say. No, she doesn't. Okay. Yeah, this bit's pretty standard as far as it goes. I mean, I've never... Scream. You know, I actually never noticed that you can see the stray demon from the beginning of the game like this. I mean, I think a lot of people miss this because they're so concentrated on fighting the little hollow people here. I mean, it took me at least until I have one main playthrough in this. I've played through quite a bit on other things and all that, but only in one have I really made it particularly far. So I think I've restarted about 3 times now, and I only noticed it on my third playthrough, which is now my main. I don't know why I tried to do that, I don't actually have anything useful to do. Okay, we're not going to do what a load of new players do and try and fight this guy with a sword, which is pretty hilarious. Get out of the way, go through here, not a problem. Yeah, I'm fast running as well, which is good. Before I continue, I am going to turn the audio down a tad because I'm used to playing it just like by myself, where I can have it as loud as I want. I obviously don't want the sound of this game to outdo my voice. There'll be no point in me commentating on it. Okay, yes, not good of a shield, but it'll do. It's better than nothing, I guess. I've never actually played a cleric before, so I don't know what to expect from it. Okay, check that out. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is go for the katana that you get off the merchant, because I don't know, that weapon's cool. I like the look of it. I've never really used it before because on my main playthrough I'm using the claymore. I want to try something like that. And you know, at dexterity I will be getting up a little bit just because that affects things like casting speed and all that. So I think it'll complement it quite well. So let's go.
Oh, you're no Hollow.
I will let them talk. Just
I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Sure.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family: thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringest the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this.
Okay.
An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Yeah.
Oh. Now I would hate to harm and thank you.
You know, when I first played this game, it took me a pretty long while to realise there was a hole in that wall. So I spent like a lot of the time just sort of looking around, looking for a way to go, but obviously there's no way to go. So yeah, I wonder how many other people have actually can't parry for shit. I find these the actual, like, just these standard hollow are actually quite difficult to parry because they're quite an unpredictable attack, and if they do that attack where they just sort of, they do that 5 swingy attack that they do, they just like flail their arms around, usually it can catch you out. There we go, we've got a, what the hell is that? It looks like a load of like straw or something. Never actually used a miracle in this game at all. I did give magic a go, but I didn't enjoy it too much, so I stopped it. That's why I kind of want to go with a faith build, so I don't just purely have to rely on the magic. I can use, like, ow, that's not good. That is not good at all. Do your attack. Oh no. See, for me, a lot of the hardest bit of the game is near the beginning because you're so like under geared for what you have to face, and any enemy can be a problem for you. Like that guy there, especially because I have like an insanely low amount of HP. So what's that? He's gone. See you later. And I missed, huh? Come on. This boss is really not a problem. I mean, it looks a lot harder than it is because a lot of Dark Souls is, the bosses are very big, so yeah, as long as you stay under their feet, you'll be alright, which is pretty much the primary way to win. That's why a lot of, like later on in the game, bosses like Artorias are people have trouble with because you can't just stay right under the legs of them. I'm gonna watch all the cutscenes just because, you know, in case anyone hasn't seen them at this point. And this is like just
Only
watching the playthrough.
in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Dun dun dun. Oh, my guy, he is truly a beauty. Oh, did you guys see that just then? It looks like the sword for the bonfire was like slightly out of place. I know. Okay. First level up, we're going to put some in Dex just because we want to be able to use the katana when we get to it. Some in Vitality. I know we are going for a Faith build, but at this point it's not. Faith is we only have a heal, so Faith is not particularly useful. I'm going to run down to New Londo and grab the Firekeeper soul there. Grab that early on. Really does give us a huge advantage when it comes to a lot of the bosses. I mean, believe it or not, one of my least favourite bosses is actually the Taurus Demon, because at that point in the game you haven't met the blacksmith yet, you're not got very good gear, and you're on a really small sort of bridge, so it can catch you out. You know, you think, oh, all these other bosses, there are harder bosses. While that is true, you can be caught out on stupid bosses like the Taurus Demons. And to be fair, I won't be surprised in this playthrough if I die from him. You know, that's a completely valid thing, because I always die from him at least once. And so I'm using Pyro. Okay, I can't use that. Probably wasn't going to use their stock anyway, but it's nice to see what my options are, really, because I did decide to use... I've never actually used their stock in the build before. I haven't done too many builds, so I don't really know a lot of the weapons. I do want to use a katana for this run, and maybe make that divine, so then it scales with my faith. That seems good to me. Okay, here we go. It's my least favourite bit. Oh my god, we made it out! I might as well just let them kill me, if I'm honest. There we go, okay. Not much point in going back up that lift, it takes too much time. And it's probably not particularly interesting for you to watch me go up there. Oh yeah, I have modded it for the Fangsword Barmer thing. I found that it removes the kind of the frustration from when you die. Yeah, it cheers me up a bit when I die, so I don't have so I'm not frustrated as much. Right, okay. So there we go. Already we're at an advantage, because our Estus is going to be healing more. I guess we're talking.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum.
Oh, screw you.
Too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on. So, off you go. It is.
He's not actually got anything else to say that's particularly useful to me. He's kind of like a vague pointer to new players, which is useful. I mean, it tells you need to go to Blight Town at some point. And, you know, the undead burg stops.
Hello, I am... If...
I'm not going to listen to this guy's conversation because he talks about shit.
Hello, I realize that, but I all... Here, no.
No, let me join your covenant. I want to buy miracles
Oh,
of you.
I have... So, would. Very well. Now,
Already
only
belongs to this
their
covenant.
ultimate...
I was unaware that the cleric started off belonging to this covenant. That's interesting. I'm not really too sure what all of these do, but what I am going to do before we carry on, I mean, obviously some of them are pretty self-explanatory, like heal and all that, but it's going to be mainly a support thing, really. I'm going to be putting points into faith, but that'll be mainly for use of weapon scaling on divine weapons and such. Stuff like that, but the healing's more of a support kind of thing. I'm going to go down here, grab there's loads of stuff down here, really useful stuff. I always thought it would be really, really cruel if they put a mimic here. I thought that'd be both cruel and hilarious, because that way new players just wander into this area, and you know, they get the true experience of Dark Souls before they've even started. And also it would prepare them for later on, but I guess it may be a bit too much. I don't actually use obvious stuff really. Homeward Bone's actually useful. I don't actually think there's anything I want here, so I'll just leave that. I'm probably not going to be getting this right-hander at any point, just because the strength requirement's higher than what I really want to be getting my strength to. Especially at this early stage in the game. The shield's also pretty useless, so I'm going to have to be careful up here. Okay, I can one-hit these, which is good news. Okay, I've never really used a mace, so I've got to be careful in this range. I'll just trade hits with him. I did pick up the Morning Star, which I can use, so I'm thinking whether or not I should use this. It does do bleed damage, but I probably won't be hitting these enemies enough times for the bleed to actually be worth it. Okay, he's dead. We will grab, I forget what this is, just soul item. I know there's a ring of sacrifice over there, but I don't particularly like jumping over there, because usually I fall and die. So I'll just leave that as it is for now. I seem to be able to block all of these guys down, all of these guys' hits for some reason. Go away. You are no problem. Let us use this. I've never actually used heal before. How much does it heal? That heals us all. That's sweet. Talisman. Our base one is actually better because it scales more, so we'll keep that for now. I believe there's a soul item at the end here. I wonder if you could drop down to that. I'm not going to try it, just in case I fall, because it's not particularly interesting to watch me have to corpse run, so I'm going to try and avoid death when I can. And hopefully I'll only die to legitimate reasons, like a boss, or you know, if I play like a fool and get punished for it. Okay, just hold with both hands, follow what that guy's going on around the hills. We'll go down to the drop down here, no problem. Another soul item, yes, that's reasonable. Okay, these hollows are definitely the initiation to Dark Souls, because you know they can still be pretty dangerous. You know, if you're not really paying attention to the game. Actually, yes, you can hit these off now. So in case you didn't know you could do that, grab the rubbish, which actually does have a value, despite it saying it doesn't. And I will probably get round to showing that value for those who don't know later on. But you know, the game's not always correct when it says it doesn't have a value. Humanity here, I believe. Yes. Okay. I'll turn the Estus first, really. Just in case I get. No problem. I can actually one-hit these with my two-handed light attack, which is very good. It saves me a lot of time having to like smash through them, like bludgeon them to death with multiple attacks. And that's never good. Probably another soul item here, yes. Okay, so Jesus Christ, just get the life out of me. I forgot that that comes down. We've made pretty decent progress at this point. You know, we've got up to the Berg bonfire, which is okay, I guess. I mean, clear these, we'll rest at the bonfire, then we won't level up. We'll actually probably just spend a lot of our souls at this point on items before we kill the merchant, because there are some items that you don't get, I believe, from killing the merchant. I don't know if you get the key, but I'll probably risk it and try it anyway, because even if I don't the resident key doesn't matter because the area in which it unlocks contains the sorcerer, but since I'm not using sorcery, it doesn't particularly matter if I don't get the key, but it would be nice if I did. You know, we've got our wooden shield at this point. I can't remember if there's a 100% reduction. I hope it is. I don't know why I'm using it. I could just be... That's not great. Taking silly damage. Not a problem though. We can just sort of cruise along at this area. You know, there's no real reason to panic over anything. Our biggest challenge is probably going to be the Taurus Demon, just because our gear isn't particularly nice at the moment. There's that. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I usually absolutely cannot stand those guys. Oh, he's using the same stuff as me. Get out of the way, box. I haven't got time for you. Right, you can fuck off. Okay. So I'm gonna talk to him.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
Doesn't move his mouth. Then again, we all know this about Dark Souls. None of the actual enemies move their mouth when you do stuff, when you talk to them. I think that's all we actually need to grab from him before we kill him, because he doesn't actually sell that shield, so I believe he drops the key. The repair box I think we can get from the guy later on, but it's going to take us a while to build up that many souls. Sorry, I smashed your crate. I meant to smash it.
Have you? I'll think you louse. Why me?
Ah yes, he does drop the key. That's good. Okay. Got the Yugi-Tana now, which we cannot use yet, but we've got it, which is good. Is that? Are we medium roll? Do we have different weapons and equips? Switch back to this shield just so we can get the fast roll, because we're not really using that shield anyway. It's just kind of like a backup thing. And that's it. We have completed the first area of the game. So we've got everything we need. We've got the... Let's level up. Can't. We've got our Firekeeper Soul. We've got our Yugi-Tana when we need that. That's gonna be our next focus, getting our strength and dex up to 14, just so we can use that. Then we're gonna be focusing on upgrading it. You know, getting it divine. So that way, then we'll start. During that time, we'll really be putting points into Faith, so we can scale directly with Faith. So there's that. I mean, I'll level up a couple of times. Right, we're at 14 with the strength. That's probably going to stay like that for the rest of the game at this point, unless we find a nicer weapon that we want to use. So I'm going to end this video here. It's a nice place to end, at a bonfire. Thanks for watching this, guys. Be sure to check out the next video. We're going to be continuing, hopefully kill the boss without getting completely destroyed, which could happen, but hopefully not. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like it. I really do appreciate it. It gives this video a lot more coverage, like more people can see it. And leave a comment telling me what you think, telling me how to, you know, if you want me to add anything to the build or do anything like that, and you know, all that good stuff. So thanks for watching. See you next time.